Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys, and we are here to have some fun with this show, guys. I can't wait to do this. It's going to be a quick hitter because we're all out. We're doing our own thing today, but it's early. People are stuck at home in isolation and quarantine, and so why not bring you guys a fun show? This is going to be a nice, fun one. So again, guys, make sure you're locked in here on the YouTube page. If it's your first time here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, we want to thank you guys for checking us out. We really appreciate that. Make sure you guys stop by the website. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. It's going to be your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners. Hit up the apparel site, guys. That is shopnb9ers.com. That is shopnb9ers.com. And hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram. That is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out with space in between. We have Twitter and Snapchat as well. That is Nothing But Nine. ERS. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL, and today we got my man Breezy here and my man Tony. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, baby?
Same old, man. Same old,
What's going on? Nice midday show.
I'm excited about this show because I've been having this epiphanies about wide receivers, man, and I decided to come up with something where I think the fans might have some fun with it. So before we get into the gist of the show, my original thing that I was supposed to post earlier, I got caught working out, so my bad. I wanted to talk about like wide receivers that the 49ers had in the past and talk about like their level of dog. Like, because we talked about these wide receivers got to be a certain, have a certain type of dog in them, and this that type in the third. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, Jerry Rice was a dog, but T.O. was a dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like they had a different level of dogness. So that's why we ended up coming up with this idea of creating a show Where My Dog's At, because we want to take the 49ers wide receiver squad and we want to rate their level of dog. All right. And we're going to do that by the sound of a bark. And we got a few sounds of barks that I'll sit there and read out to you. We have a Tibetan Mastiff, right? We have a Pit Bull. Okay. We have a Chihuahua. And last but not least, we have a surprise dog sound for you for those at the end. So we get to rate one of our things as the smallest feline of them all. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So we're gonna take our wide receivers and we're gonna go through some of those. And just like we said in the past, like if you had to just a quick poll, if we put a poll up there, who would you say had more dog, Jerry Rice or Terrell Owens? Because in my opinion, it would be T.O. And then Anquan Boldin would have been the next level of dog that I've seen on this particular team. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys got? Who had more dog, Jerry Rice or T.O.? You're muted.
I was telling Tony to go.
All right. Sheesh. Wow, that's a tough one.
Don't think about it too hard.
Towards the end of his career, I would go with Jerry. I definitely would go with Jerry.
I like that, Tony.
Once they built that 94 Super Bowl team and started adding those pieces, the swag became a part of that team. I would go with Jerry.
I like the fact that you went with Jerry, and I like the fact that you put toward the end of his career, because that sends the message. I wonder why toward the end of Jerry's career, the dog started coming out. I wonder.
Because I think it's the players that they surrounded him with. Because pre-94, Jerry Rice was like a straight businessman, go on the field, suit and tie to the game, do his thing, perform off the field. After that, like when they added the Dana Stubblefield, the loudmouth Dana Stubblefield. They added the Deion Sanders, the Ken Nortons, all those pieces, the Richard Dent, the Charles Mann, the Ricky Jackson, the Tim Harris with his 16-gun shooter. A swag was on that team. And I think Jerry bought into it. And that's at that point, I think that's when Jerry made that turn.
Now, before Mike answers the question, because we got to give him some time to answer, is there a difference between dog and swag? Because I think there's a difference. We'll cover that. Mike, why don't you go ahead and answer the first part? Who had more dog?
Now, are we talking about their time with the Niners, or are we talking about
their time with the Niners? Because we're talking about just 49ers. Okay.
All right, so I got to give the edge to Jerry Rice over T.O.
Really?
Yeah, T.O. developed the dog mentality after he left the Niners. Like, that's when he got cocky. That's when he brought the swag and everything. And, hey, look, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to talk my talk, and what you going to do about it? That wasn't Jerry's game, man.
I disagree. I disagree, man. I felt like T.O.
Bro, my last memory of T.O. with the Niners is him crying because he made that catch against the Packers.
There's nothing wrong with a little tear here and there,
no,
bro.
No, I'm just saying, but that's not dog. Like, dog to me would have got to be like, yeah, nah, I told y'all come back to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
Let me tell you what dog is. Dog is when you take the football, you run to the 50-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, you hold your hands out like this, and you let motherfuckers know that you are the top dog of them all. Now, Jerry Rice is the GOAT, no doubt. Different animal. We talking about dog. I felt like T.O. being drafted in the 3rd round, coming to a team with the greatest wide receiver of all time. He had no choice but to be a dog. And he let Jerry Rice know he was a dog. And he was so much of a dog that they was beefing on the same squad. I know you remember Jerry Rice talking shit like later on, like, yo, like I had to prove to this young buck that I was still that dude. But T.O., I felt like T.O. came in dog ready. Like he knew he had to live up to Jerry Rice. I get it. After he left, he turned into a monster. But he was already the dog. Like I felt like he was the wide receiver. We got rid of him because he was a goddamn dog. They didn't know how to tame the dog. All right, man. I just wanted to throw that out there, man. I'm glad you guys got an answer. Really quick before we get into our show, is there a difference though between dog and swag? Because I felt like Deion wasn't a dog, but man, he was swagalicious. You know what I'm saying?
Swag to me is more about like the style and the confidence, you know, how you keep yourself. Like, for example, a guy that had a nice mixture of dog and swag, but they were both subtle, would be Michael Crabtree. You know, Crabtree was never like that physical, nasty, I'm gonna talk or whatever. But he cared about how he looked, he cared about how he played and all that stuff. Like he was a nice combination of the two. So I think swag is more like a finesse thing, like a you know, how you carry yourself and all that, like your mentality. But dog, I mean, they're both how you carry yourself and mentality. But dog to me is like a more physical attribute. It's a mindset where one is like an accessory. I hate to say it that way, but you know.
No, I agree with that. Here's a question about my man Khalil, right? He says, "Who's bigger, dog?" Now, this is a good question because this is a good comparison. It's not. Yeah, look, I like this question.
Hands down. That's so favored one way. It's not even funny.
But what's the favorite? So I'm going with Steve Smith.
It's Steve Smith. Easy.
Hands down.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a fair.
Hands
you're not gonna find another. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
No, hands down. Steve Smith was like, oof.
He was the Chihuahua that ran, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you remember the cartoon, the Chihuahua and the big pit bull Spike, and the Chihuahua was really the joint running and stuff. And like, what's up, Spike? Hey, Spike. Hey, Spike. And because Spike was the big bulldog, he didn't really do much, but the Chihuahua was holding it down. Like Steve Smith will be the top dog. He brought dog to the wide receiver position in a different way, and it wasn't just because he was small. Like, just got to think about like his stature, the teams he played for. Like he had to go. He had to make himself like stand out because of his size, and his bark was all bark. And you know what? Is when you can back up everything you say, when you could talk smack about or whatever, and you back it up. Like you get crowned dog. Like I want to do that on a show. Crown the dog. Like, so we're talking about 49er wide receivers, right? We're talking about the wide receivers going into the 2020 season. And we haven't had the draft yet. So we know the draft is coming up in about 2 weeks. And we wanted to rate our wide receivers on the level of their dog, right? Like we got some wide receivers and we want to know like who's the dog, because you hear out there in the draft, oh, the 49ers shouldn't draft this guy because this guy's not physical enough, or this guy doesn't have a dog in him, and this guy doesn't have that. And I'm saying to myself, the reason why this idea popped in my head is because I watched two of the greatest wide receivers play on the same team at the same time, Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens. Two of the greatest, top 5, both of them. 1 and probably 2, 1 and probably 1 to 2 to 3. Like they're top 3 wide receivers all time. All right. And I watched them play on this same squad, and they were different. They were different how they ran their routes. They were different how they attacked their routes. And I wanted to come up with this idea because going into the draft, when we think about who should we draft, who's the dog as a wide receiver on this team? And why do we need to get another dog to replace that dog? Like, there's probably only room for one dog, right? You need sweetness, compliment, style, swag, all those different things to make up the elements of a well-oiled, fine-oiled unit. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into our show. I got the barks ready. You guys are going to go. We're going to start with the wide receivers. Let's start from the bottom. Now, to those out there watching the show, apparently we signed a wide receiver yesterday, but I can't find his name anywhere. So if anybody know his name, please put him up here in the chat and the thing, and we'll make sure we put your joint up here so everybody can see it. But right now, he's question mark. So let's talk. Tony, you kick it off, bro.
We're going from the bottom up, right?
Go from the bottom to the top.
So that would be Thompson, Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson. People probably don't even know who Chris Thompson is. It's not the running back that played for the Washington Redskins either.
No, I don't really. He's a smaller end receiver. I really don't know much about him. I do know he's a speed guy, but I don't know. If I try to tell you I know about him, I'd be lying to you. But,
I think we all would be lying. But
yeah, I just think I know one thing for sure. He's fast.
Okay.
But as far as dog, I couldn't answer. I can't really tell you.
So what do we put for so how do we rate him if we've never seen him play?
TBA. So TBD, to be determined.
To be determined. All right. So he won't get a bark.
No bark. He gets a question mark.
Got you. All right. Next up, Sean Poindexter. Mike, what you got?
This guy has the size. He's got decent hands, but he just for some reason can't get on the field. I don't think it's about his toughness or anything like that. So he got injured. You know, he made some plays in preseason and things like that, but he got injured. He's another undetermined, unknown. He's too unknown to give him a rating on our system here today. So I can't call him the Tibetan Mastiff. Damn sure can't call him a Pit Bull. Damn sure can't call him a Chihuahua. I don't want to insult the dude, and he can't get the fourth one. That's only going to one person from each one of us today. So, I got a bunch of question marks. Unless y'all know something about him that I don't, fill me in, please.
I didn't even know he was on the roster. He is a USC guy. Hey man, no. I wonder how he compares to the Michael Pittman coming out. I wonder if he resolves in that same category. Can he run routes? You said his hands are decent. We don't know how fast he is. Unfortunately, he didn't end up playing down because he got hurt in the preseason, so we didn't get a chance to see him perform. So I think he gets the TBD as well, to be determined. Until we actually get some footage of him and the 49ers preseason, regular season, I don't think we can rate the level of dogness that he has.
There is some footage of him in preseason. He has made some tough catches. I watched him when we signed him as an undrafted free agent. I think I'm pretty sure he went to Arizona, not USC. I think he went to Arizona. He was a Wildcat. Okay. He's like a bigger statue guy, 6'5", 218, big physical wide receiver. From what I've seen on tape and from what I remember from him playing in the preseason, he wore number 1, by the way, if anybody wants to go back and watch it. He didn't back down. So, preseason wise and the little bit of college film, he's far from the mystery one. He's definitely not the one above the mystery one. I would put him, if there was a tier between the Pitbull and Chihuahua.
He's like a Labrador.
Okay. Well, Labrador's got some Laura barks though.
Yeah. So listen, I'm really looking forward to seeing him in this preseason. If knock on wood, there is a preseason, but they kept him around, and they signed. He was one of the first guys that they signed as an undrafted free agent, so it means a little something.
All right, I like that.
All right. What about you, Breezy?
So for those two guys that we had, like, I mean, to me, they're to be determined because I don't remember physically seeing them perform. Like, you know, I would have to go back and watch tape to see them. But the rest of the guys on this list, I have watched, I have viewed. I'll start with our newest wide receiver signing. Then I'll start with Travis Benjamin. How about that? And then we'll take it from there. All right. So we got Travis Benjamin. He's the newest wide receiver addition to the San Francisco 49ers. Fast guy. Return guy, wide receiver, can run stuff out of the backfield. Where would I label him? I don't see him as a chihuahua. I mean, I know he's tiny, but he's been around for a while, and I feel like he gets things done. I don't see him as a chihuahua. So if I had to give him a bark sound, woo, that's tough because it's a big jump. Ugh. So I'm gonna have to go with the pit bull sound. I'm gonna have to go with a pit bull. I believe he's a pit. What do you guys got?
You want to go next one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go. I agree. You listen. There's a couple things about Benjamin that I like.
I'm sorry.
He's 5'10", and if he's 180 pounds soaking wet, that's a lot. Tiny frame. The guy doesn't back down. Talk about dog. He came from the University of Miami. So, you know, those guys have full dog in them, if not full swag in them. He played, I'm pretty sure, I forgot what, he played in a pretty big program in South Florida. A well-known, I don't think it's the one, the St. Aquinas that Bosa went through, but I think it was their rival. It was like in the Fort Lauderdale area, a big school. And they pumped out guys like you know, just very talented guys. So for such a tiny frame going to the U, should performing and on the big stage of the NFL, the guy doesn't back down. He does go across the middle. I'm definitely going to give him a pit bull.
Nice. What do you got, Mike?
Man, this dude's a chihuahua, bro.
Okay.
He's a chihuahua, man. How many games has he played in the last 2 seasons?
So wait, you're basing this off of his health?
No. I'm not basing it off of his health. I was just messing with you guys. It's you know, I don't know. I think I look at this a little different. I'm looking for physicality, right? And there's more to physicality than you have it or you don't, right? It's how willing are you to dish it out, knowing when to take it, knowing when to fold, how you take a hit and all that stuff. So I'm going to put him in the list of the Chihuahua, which is not the lowest on our rating, guys. So don't think I'm hating on the young man or anything like that. But I'm just going to give him the Chihuahua. What's the Chihuahua sound like?
Hold on, Doc. It's coming because I didn't expect it to get the Chihuahua.
Yeah, you thought you was going to get a clean sleep here, right?
That's crazy.
It sounds crazy. Now it sounds insulting.
That is crazy.
Yo, man. Hey, Mike. Hey, it's your show, man. That's what you
Chihuahuas, their legs move fast. I saw a comment. Yes, it's the sign that my daughter made for me over my shoulder. But yeah, their legs move fast, and you know. And by the way, man, Chihuahuas, they bite more than pit bulls. You look it up, man. The dogs that bite the most are Chihuahuas in this country. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to make it like it's an insult. He's a dog, but he's a little 5'10", you know.
I agree.
That's all.
He's a pit bull to me, but I get where you're coming from. Hey, man, our boy George Padilla sent in this. Thank you for the contribution, brother. Football teams are like wolf packs. There's always an alpha, but the pack can always use more killers. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Talk your shit.
I agree. I mean, you had cats sitting here talking about F dogs. We need lichens. And if you don't know what a lichen is, we need wolves. Now, yeah, I totally agree with werewolves at that. Nah, George, you absolutely right, man. And at the wide receiver position, you know, I'm not sure what if everybody's an alpha, then stuff ain't gonna work. So we definitely, I think I kind of like how Mike gave Travis Benjamin the Chihuahua rating, because if everybody comes in here, alpha, big dog, blah, 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 whatever that mindset, you're gonna start seeing clashing, and then stuff not gonna happen. So it is a good that we have a little mixture of different types of dogs, man. We kept it to 3 dogs. There's a whole bunch of dogs we could have picked, but we kept it to 3. So let's move on to Richie James Jr.
Y'all want me to go first?
Yeah, man, we'll rotate. I'll go last this time.
All right. So Richie James is going to get our surprise sound here. And we can only award the surprise sound to one wide receiver. Okay, we can give all 3 of the other ones to multiple guys, but this one is a special earned award. But
Okay,
all right, so let me be clear here. No, don't play the sound yet. Richie James is a friend of the show. We've talked to Richie James. He's a good dude. We love Richie James. Well, I do. I know some people wish he did a little bit more in the return game, but he's earned the special sound here. All right, you can go ahead and play it because he's the guy for me. All right.
God.
So he gets the lowest dog on the totem pole, which is like a really tough house cat. And it's just he just shies away from contact. Even his best game with us so far, his Washington game, watch him fall into the arms of tacklers. I talked about it's not being willing to give contact, running away from contact, falling into the arms of people as they're about to hit him and things like that. There is no dog and Richie James. I'm sorry. And I love Richie James. I love his ability. I love all the physical, his attributes, but his willingness, his toughness, it ain't there, bro. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh man. Richie James. I gotta kind of agree with Mike, but I'm not gonna go with the surprise sound. I'm gonna go with maybe the Chihuahua.
Okay.
For Richie James, because he does make valid points, especially in the Washington game when he did have the opportunity. He kind of did go down, slide, and fall into tackles, as Mike would say.
He's doing
that. There it is. Yeah, so I'll go with the Chihuahua here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Before I play your sound, because you and I agree, we both picked Chihuahua, so I'm gonna play the sound once. Didn't Richie James didn't he get a big touchdown run in that game?
It was a huge, big game. He had a big game.
Yeah, that's
he ran literally street, sandlot football. They drew up a button hook and he just ran with it.
Hey,
he literally took 3 steps past the line of scrimmage and sat.
It takes a special dog to run in mud. All right, so that's kind of crazy. But all right, so I'm gonna give Richie James. I'm gonna give him the Chihuahua sound. Let's play that sound real quick, man. Can't believe Mike went with the cat on that joint. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the cat. All right, so we got. I wish I could have found a little deeper Chihuahua sound, but that's what we got. All right, man. So I'll start with this guy. His name is Marquise Goodwin. Okay, so I'll go first, and then we'll go Tony, and then Mike, you'll close it out. All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna play the sound. But before I play the sound, all in favor of the Chihuahua sound, say aye. Rick, I'm the only Chihuahua guy here.
Nah, I got a Chihuahua rating on it.
All right, so I'll wait to play that sound until after you talk. Tony, are you a Chihuahua or no?
Wait, hold on.
This is for Goodwin, right?
This is for Goodwin.
He's so close to being a pit bull to me. He's right there on the border, but I got him as a Chihuahua right now.
You know what? Yeah, give me Chihuahua.
All right, so y'all go ahead and talk, y'all talk, and then I'll go ahead and play the sound when y'all finish.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, basically what it comes down to with him, I mean, Goodwin, he showed some toughness. He really, really did. And that 1 year that he had here. And I was hoping for it, but I think it was a flash in the pan thing, man. I really do. I think it was you have to go with we got to look at these guys' careers. We have to look at what they've done as a collective. I can't take that one season, those 15 games that he played in or whatever it was, and just change who he is. I mean, I don't even know if he's willing, and that's what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about whether or not they're willing to go out here and do these things. And if you are facing a Chihuahua, they're going to stand there and look at you and bark. They're not talking shit. I mean, they're not snapping and barking until you turn around and start walking away. So that's why I got to have him in the Chihuahua category for me, man. But that one season he had, he looked like he was a pit bull coming out.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little different. It was more, it looked like it was there, but man, I'm telling you, man, of the 3 years he's been here, I got to go with the majority of it. It's Chihuahua for me.
I agree what you said. When he's on the field, he does flashes those, like, you know,
they call him Flash.
That he flashes the pit bull mentality, but other things happen that make him fall back to the Chihuahua. So that's pretty much where I stand.
I don't see Goodwin flashing the pit bull mentality. I never see pit bull in him. Like I get that he comes across the field every now and then, tries to catch a pass, takes a lick. But it's not consistent, and his catching isn't consistent, and he is known to run to beat the defense deep. Like, that's what he's known for. And I wonder, you know, it was a crazy stat I saw a couple of days ago, it might have been yesterday, about the deep ball percentage, and that Jimmy Garoppolo shot the ball deeper than any other quarterback in the NFL this season, like 55 for 50-something%. And I thought that was amazing, because we always talk about how Jimmy doesn't throw deep. He was higher than the Super Bowl MVP. He was higher than these guys that throw the ball deep. And I wonder if just not having Goodwin affected that. Like, I wonder if Goodwin not being healthy, or not being healthy in the mind, or whatever it was, you know, hurt our chances in not doing the deep passes. So I don't think Goodwin is going to be cut or released on this team. And this is probably why I don't think we drafted Henry Ruggs going later on into the show. Like, I think we have a speed guy. I think Goodwin will be utilized, and I think if he's healthy, that is going to provide a whole nother dynamic to the passing game. It's going to provide a whole nother dynamic to the passing game. So just because he can win deep routes, to me, still doesn't make him a bulldog. It doesn't make him, a pit bull, doesn't make him massive. He's just going to be, he's a Chihuahua. He will always be a Chihuahua. He is little bark, little dog, but he gets stuff done, like when he needs to. So that's my definition of Chihuahua. All right, let's move on to Dante.
Play that sound.
Oh,
let me hear Marquise Goodwin.
Wait, we picked Chihuahua? My bad.
One time for the good one.
I can't believe this.
I'm sorry, Goodwin, yo. I mean, no, you all love, brother. All right, so let's move on to Dante Pettis. All right, and who starts this one off? Mike.
I'm going to give Dante Pettis the Chihuahua sound. I'm probably going to be alone in this, but my reason is because I've seen Pettis go across the middle. I've seen Pettis take big hits on the sideline. Even this year when he was struggling, he was taking some big hits, and he was doing what they were asking. He just wasn't coming down with the damn ball. Now, whether or not you can hold on to it is a little different, but he was at least willing. And I got to give him some credit for at least being willing to do it. So I have him the same way I see Marquise Goodwin. I have him as a Chihuahua. But I got a feeling that you guys are going to be a little different there. So,
go ahead, Tony.
He's my surprise pick. He's my surprise sound.
Okay.
And you know what? I agree with Mike. He does. This is a guy that does also flash the ability to go across the middle, come up with big plays and big, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers game. If he didn't come back to that ball, they lose that game. The catch in his rookie season in the end zone from Jimmy, right in the left corner, how he stretched out and made that huge catch. But the reason why I'm giving this to him is because he's a cat freak. He loves cats. So he's a cat.
Wow. Well, just looking at the rest of the list. All right, Dante Pettis, look, I'm probably one of your biggest supporters, man. Like I post about you. We tweet every now and then. You ask me questions about music. I try to give you, my expertise on music. Listen, man, you came in to the league as a sly cat, and I think you just that cool cat. Like I don't think you have the dog. I don't think you need to be a dog. I think you need to be mischief, and I think you need to be slick, and I think you need to be independent. This is all characteristics of a cat. This is not trying to say you're a pussy cat or things like that. This is just me saying that you need to utilize. So let me tell you about cats. I've watched cats F dogs up. I've seen a cat a dog up. Now, big dog, little dog, you name it. A cat with claws is dangerous, then just as dangerous as a dog with a bite. All right. So I need Cat Pettis to come out like Catwoman and F some motherfuckers up. All right, like, because that's what you do. Like, you catch passes, you slither through defenses, you do these different things. And I mean, we're gonna play the cat sound because this is me and Tony's surprise pick. And we're gonna play the cat sound, but I got him rated as a different type of cat. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not the cool cat like Heathcliff. I know somebody put in there. There's only one cool cat, and that's Heathcliff. Ain't nobody else. And even Garfield ain't Heathcliff. But let me right. But Tony, we're gonna play the cat sound. We're gonna play the Chihuahua sound. I think that's what Mike gave him. And so we're gonna go Chihuahua, and then we're gonna go with the meow. Somebody look, my man said, why not Black Panther? Because he just not.
Oh shit!
I just gotta play the cat sound. All right, I'm not even gonna. All right. Here we go. Do we need to play the Chihuahua? Let's play the Chihuahua sound one time for Mike. All right, I forgot to play it when Mike made his pick. Now let me ask you a question: is there a big distinction between this sound and this sound? Let me know. I want to know if there's a difference between the Chihuahua and the cat sound. Let me know.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there is, man. There is a difference. I want to ask y'all a question though, man. How is it possible that y'all have him less of a dog than Richie James? Especially you, Breezy. As much as you talk about he runs out of bounds as soon as he gets the ball every time. How is it that y'all see him as less of a dog than Richie? I don't see it.
For me, Richie James does more. Okay,
that's not fair. That's not fair.
He's called upon to do more. And I hate him in the return game, but I like him when he catches the balls. Like, right, I like him when he catches passes. I like when they utilize him in the wide receiver game. It's just that he obviously, he might not be learning the plays to where they don't utilize him, or he's lacking some type of skill set, or maybe Kyle says, man, I'm scared you're going to catch the pass and just fall down and not gain extra yards. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but he has a little bark in him. I just think that if I had to pick and put Dante Pettis on the return game, then he would be a dog. Because I know he can move and groove in between cats. Like that's a cat. That's a move. Not ordering Chinese for lunch. You guys are crazy with these comments, yo. But nah, man, I'm telling you. So I get your point. Your point is dope, yo. But that's for me. My perspective is, dang, yo. If all right, I'm gonna flip the script. You know how Ahkello Witherspoon got benched? What did Ahkello Witherspoon do when he got benched? Did he mope and cry and hang on the sideline and do whatever? Nah.
He asked for special teams, right?
He said, Coach, put me on special teams, Coach. Yo, to me, that ain't even a Chihuahua. That's pit bull mentality. So if I had to rate him, regardless of what his play is, his level of dog inside him, yo, put me in. I'm a crack ahead on special teams. I don't see Dante Pettis saying, yo, Coach, put me in on special teams, Coach. I'm not seeing that. Therefore, he stays.
He did special teams before, though.
But what's
he was a return guy. Now I know that he lost it. Maybe he gave it up. I don't know. So you might be onto something there. All right. I like how you did that. All right. I respect that.
Tony, did you want to crack in on that? Why did you put Richie James?
I'm sorry.
He said, nah. All right, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
We got 4 more receivers to go before we go a little bit into the draft and what we think we should add. But Lycan did ask this question, and it will and thank you for the contribution, Lycan 46. I like how his name is Lycan, and I just caught on that Lycan is a motherfucking Lycan. I just caught on to that. I'm so slow. All right. When you guys get to the draft, I like for y'all to answer this question. Am I the only one who's really feeling Justin Jefferson in the draft? I promise you, I'm gonna leave this up here. We're gonna get back to that, and then we'll answer your questions. Let's kick it to Jalen Hurts. All right, where are we at on Jalen Hurts? Mike,
is it my technical first?
Mike, yep. Oh no, I go first. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I got Jalen Hurts as a pit bull. I got him as a pit bull. That is without one official NFL down in a regular season. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've been watching this cat since college, and there's nothing but dog in him. And let me tell you about his dog. This dude transferred schools because he did not want to play running back anymore because he had he had a mentor that said, look, man, switch your position in the NFL so you can have more longevity and get paid more money. And he switched it and he got good. He was good at 2 positions. Like, to have that mentality to change a school, to say to change a position, to master 2 positions and be good at both. That's a dog. That's a dog putting in work. So I'm giving him the pit bull. I don't know if any of y'all want to agree with that sound. If not, I'll play my sound right now.
No, let me go real quick.
Yep.
All right. I think no matter what, just right now, what we've seen from him, what he showed in preseason, what we've seen in college at Baylor and Tennessee, he's an automatic lock for a pit bull. I think this guy, if he did not get hurt, is on the verge for a massive. I'm telling you, there was reports at a training camp. This guy would fight with people, go after people, block through the whistle to the point where defenders were like, yo, what the hell are you doing? That is a bleeping dog. I mean, that's what that you pull up and you try to define something like that. Jalen Hurts is your guy. The only reason why I'm not doing the massive is because I'm just really afraid with his back. And I don't know if this guy's going to ever be able to play football again because you've heard nothing on him. He couldn't even fly to the Super Bowl. That is a major red flag. And you're talking about a full contact sport. So his mentality inside, he's a massive. But I'm keeping him at Pitbull right now because he's not on the field. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. What you got, Mike?
mine is going to be different from y'all. So if you want to play your Pitbull sound,
let me
don't even go there and trying to say he's.
I know he's not going higher, so I'm going to play my sound, Tony. We're going to play our sound. Where my dogs at? Woo! About to go buy Pitbull right now. All right.
Yeah.
What you got, Mike?
Listen, when you talk about alpha dogs, this is the guy right here.
Oh.
You talk about big dogs, this is the guy right here. Physically, mentally. Tony touched on something that I thought most people forgot about. We remember when they had the joint, the practices and there was fights happening in training camp. That was this guy right here. We remember when he was dragging Dallas Cowboys defenders across the goal line, running through people.
Wait, you bet. I forgot to say that he trucked. He looked. Yeah. He could have hit that pylon on the corner. No, he came back in to run that MF over, and he trucked his ass. Good point.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. That's the mentality I'm talking about when I say dog. And he went to the microphone and was like, they told me to block through the whistle. I guess next time I won't go as hard. When you have to try to tone it down, you don't get much big dog than that right there. So that is going to be my Tibetan Mastiff in the wide receiving core. I don't care if he hasn't touched the field yet. We're talking about mentality, heart, going for it. We talked about shying away from contact versus running to contact. This is the guy right here. This is the guy right here. You play that Tibetan Mastiff sound for the first time this entire show because he's earned it all. I don't care if he never takes it down. We know his mentality and we know his heart. He's the big dog all day.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
He sound like the dogs from freaking Game of Thrones where they was eating the Ramsay dogs. Them sound like Ramsay dogs. That's what they sound like. So I ain't effing with them dogs. So if I see him, I'm getting on the other side of the street. All right, so we got our first Tibetan Massive on this show, and Mike's pick was Jalen. I ain't never played it down in the NFL. Hurd. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right. Let's move on. We got 3 more receivers. Listen, guys, but first before we get to the last 3 receivers on this list, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Please make sure you guys are sharing this broadcast. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly appreciate all the love that you guys be showing each and every one of us. I appreciate all the fan interaction I get on Twitter because I love talking to you guys like we sit here in the living room. That's just the type of person I am. So make sure if you're not following us, make sure you following the fellas up here, man. Yo, this has been a great show so far. We got 3 more wide receivers, and we're going to let y'all go ahead and enjoy y'all lunch. All right, here we go. Trent Taylor. Mike, you kick this one off.
All right, you know what? I've given Trent Taylor a lot of crap, but it's usually been in comparison. I'm going to give him the pit bull. He's a feisty little fucker, which he should. I'm sorry. I don't know if I should have said all that. He's a feisty guy. He goes across the middle. He's fearless. He likes to block. We saw him getting into it. He drew a flag. What game was that? Damn. He blocked. Was it a Rams defender or a Seahawks defender? He blocked him to the ground and then ended up drawing a 15-yard penalty because the Seahawks guy was so mad he got up swinging on him and shit. I'm giving him the pit bull. I know he's got the injuries and all that, but I'm not looking at injury setting guys aside. I'm thinking about mentality here, and he's got that pit bull in him for sure.
All right, man. What you got, Tony? I like it.
Pit bull. I agree 100%. So works in the middle of the field. He's a chain mover. He doesn't back down. He blocks. Pit bull.
It's a pit bull sweep, man, because I seen this cat go. I seen him want to attack a referee. Like when that referee called him for that offensive PI, which was bullshit. Like he went after the ref and had to be pulled back. And you know what? For this little guy coming out of some all-American school I ain't never heard of, Louisiana Tech, I think that's what it was. It was a little and he did lead the NCAA in catches, by the way. Just want to put that out there. This if he can just stay healthy, he is going to be a super piece to this offense. But like Mike and Tony said, this guy's mentality is all heart. Think about Rudy playing on the offensive wide receiver position, yo. Like this guy ain't quitting for nobody, no injury, no nothing. He is going to go out there and give 110%. Never understood the 110%. I guess that's the extra 10% that you just think you have when you don't have it. Because I'm like, there's only 100% in the pie. So how can you give 110? But I got what you're saying. Like this is that 110% type player. I definitely give him the pit bull sound. Let's go ahead and cue up the dogs. Where my dogs at? We right here, dog. Man, I wish I could play that DMX on this show and not get sued.
We I honestly I thought one of y'all might have given him the Tibetan Mastiff. Like he's tough. He's a tough dude, man.
He's tough, but he's not big. He's not Tibetan Massive tough for me. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? But he's definitely tough, yo. He's like, if there's a dog higher than Pitbull, I would give him that. Does that make sense? And lower than Tibetan Massive. Talk about chain mover, bro. Regardless of contact, never shies away from contact. Not even across the middle. Dog. All right. We're up to the number 1 and number 2 receiver on the San Francisco 49ers. We got Kendrick Bourne. All right. So I guess I'm kicking this one off first. That's what I got here on the paper. Now, you know Kendrick Bourne, my dog, right? You know he my dog, yo. But he didn't reach that Tibetan Massive state. I'm lying. I got Kendrick Bourne as my Tibetan Massive, yo. And here's why. Y'all clowned him. y'all said that he can't catch, he can't do this, he can't do that, he can't do. Yo, he has been doing nothing but putting in that work to make his. It's like, you ever seen the Lion King when Simba was like, "Wow," and then like that. That's what we watch. We watch this young pup like grow. We watched him from a pup to a dog, and this dude is all dog with swag. So he's the swag with the dog. And yo, he's my Tibetan Mastiff. I know y'all probably thought I should have gave it to somebody else or whatever like that. No, Kendrick Bourne gets my Tibetan Mastiff. If no one else agrees, can I play my sound or should I just wait?
You should wait.
Okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead. What you got, Tone?
I'm going with a pit bull.
Okay.
I'm going with a pit bull. He's flashy. He is tough. He makes big catches. I understand we all knocked him for, lining up in a wrong spot, dropping passes, stuff like that, which, it's part of the growing process. But the positive thing is he showed that he could correct his errors and improve his play and be more focused and know the playbook. But I definitely I will give him a pit bull. He made catches over the middle. He made a catch between 3 defenders when Jimmy threaded that ball. He's not afraid, so I'm definitely giving him a pit bull.
Before we read this question, I want to hear what Mike has, and then we'll definitely get to Theodore Wells' question.
All right, so this is not about production. This is not about, any of that stuff. It's about mentality. If I can give this award, if I can give the Tibetan Mastiff to Jalen Hurd, I can't justify not giving it to Kendrick Bourne.
Oh,
this is the way I'm looking at it. He's fearless across the middle. He plays the boundaries hard. He brings the juice. He brings the energy, and he's physically talented. He likes to block. I can't think of a reason to not give it to him. Now, I haven't seen him lower his shoulder and bowl somebody over quite that way, but
I seen him set some edge blocks, bro.
Right. No, I'm talking about with the ball in his hand. Okay. I haven't seen him like truck anybody yet, like I've seen her do. But my thing is this: we have a scale here with only 4 options. I've used one that I can't use again, and I have him higher than a pit bull, and so the only option for me higher than a pit bull right now is a Tibetan Mastiff, because I do think he's somewhere in between. I would put him somewhere in between, but we don't have that, and I'm not going to disrespect him by just giving him a pit bull. So that's why
I'm gonna play the pit bull for Tony. We're gonna play that one time. Where his dog at? Get at me, dog. But I'm going with these dogs. I'm going with the killers. I think KB is a killer in the NFL. And you know what he kills? He kills defenses. That's what he kills. He kills defenses. And we're gonna get to this question in 1 second. Look at the overture in my mouth. Like, yeah. You go ahead and get him, KB. All right, man. My man Theodore Wells posted this question, man. He says, why are y'all so up on Bourne? He's an average receiver. He's a 3 or 4. Bourne is not no big dog. First of all, dog is spelled with 1 G. Just wanted to correct you because I am a teacher. So just want to make sure you got your English right. Spelled with 1 G. All right. Second, listen. I get where you guys are coming from. I know that Bourne is probably a 3 or 4 receiver. Well, I will say he probably was a 3 or 4 receiver in an offense. You got to think, man, he's on an offense where he has to share touches, right? He has to share the ball. He has to do all these different types of things. And, I just feel like when they call on this young man's number, no, he might not run all the right routes. Yeah, he has things he can improve on, footwork, speed, all those different types of things, right? But I mean, when you got a guy that leads your team in touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? And his name not George.
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, and his name not George Kittle. I mean. So, no, he's not going to be your 1,000-yard wide receiver, but if you don't have this dog on your team, you're not in the Super Bowl. So I'm just going to put it like that. I'm just going to say that, and I'm going to leave it there. And you can spell dog however you want to, Theodore Wells. I'm just joking around with you guys, man. What you guys got to answer this question, yo?
Well, for me personally, it's about a player doing what they're asked. That's all a guy can do.
Mhm.
He can't throw the ball to himself. He can't ask Shanahan to dial up his number every time. So I'm looking at his succession rate, and he's successful more often than he's not, way more often than he's not. He's dependable, and like it or not, he's a leader in that locker room in the wide receiver room. People are looking at him. Shanahan and the coaching staff have often said his energy is infectious. Okay, that tells you all you need to know about this guy. When he comes in there, Shanahan said it doesn't matter if it's practice or if it's a play in the Super Bowl. He has the same mentality, down in and down out. He's consistent. That's why I'm so up on Kendrick Bourne. It's not about his numbers in the production. Like I said when I was talking about Hurd, it's not about what he's done on the field. It's about the little bit that I've seen. It's about mentality. He's absolutely the big dog.
And Tony?
Listen, I'm a big Kendrick Bourne fan. I like him. I think Kyle Shanahan and his organization would love to have him as their fourth best wide receiver because of what is in front of him. But listen, I mean, the guy steps up. He makes plays when they're needed. Both 3rd and 16 catches for the 49ers this year were both to him. So the guy knows when to make plays. When he knows he has to make plays, he makes them. It's not a knock against him that I think they're going to address the wide receiving core in the draft. I just think Kyle wants so many weapons. Kyle loves a rotation. If you watch the whole season, he's always flipping guys in and out. So, listen, I like Kendrick Bourne. I'm glad he signed his 1-year tender to come back, and hopefully they can get a extension.
Yeah, man. That's what we're hoping for in this show, man. And on as fans, man, I would love to see him get an extension. Doesn't mean he's probably gonna get the 3-year, $40 million, $30 million, whatever deal. But I would love to see him keep progressing as a 49er, because I tell you, when they call on that number, when they call on 84, that guy makes sure he's trying to do 2 things: 1, catch the ball; 3, get a first down, and 2, get a first down, and 3, score a touchdown. Like, that's what he's trying to do. And he can only get better in a system that's for wide receivers.
And another factor is, if you compare his catches to first downs to touchdowns, it's like unreal. The amount out of, I don't even know how many catches he finished with, but let's just say he finished with 35. How many of those 35s went for first downs? How many of those 35s went for a touchdown?
Correct.
You know,
and I see Theodore saying that he's slow, he doesn't get separation, da 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 da. Okay, well, if that's the case, then Marquise Goodwin is a big dog because he's fast and he gets plenty of separation. That's not what defines it. It's not about your attribute. Like, I don't understand what people are missing during this conversation. We've been very clear with everything we're saying here.
Kendrick Bourne is 100% a chain mover. He's a possession receiver. He's not going to fly down the field and take your top off, even though he probably could, if the way Kyle comes out with a formation where he can take advantage of a safety or like in that aspect. But I don't think I see him more as a possession and a chain mover. That's why I think the team is looking maybe to add that other dimension. If they decide to move on from Goodwin, they're going to bring somebody else in. They already brought Benjamin in who could take the top off of a defense. So it's really going to be interesting. But the only thing that stinks is Kyle has wanted a top dog wide receiver, like a legit, like one guy. And unfortunately, we have the 13th pick. I mean, not unfortunately, but we do have the 13th pick. And this year it's stacked in wide receivers. And pick 1 to 15, you have blue chip players. Blue chip players is like, 5-star recruits out of high school, like strong, talented, like, hardworking. They're well-rounded, well-polished players. And if you have an opportunity to address that and grab a Judy or a Mark or a Lamb or a Ruggs and add that to your arsenal, shit, by all means.
Yeah, man. I totally agree, man. All right, man, we're about to come to an end of the show, so let's go ahead and tack on this last wide receiver. And is he a 1? Is he a 2? Is he a 0? Who knows? But we're gonna talk about our man Deebo Samuel. All right, Deebo Samuel. Why did I say Deebo? Y'all guys ain't seen Friday. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Deebo Samuel, man. Mike, you get to kick this one off. And what do you have on our man Deebo? What is this guy's heart and mentality on this team? Which type of dog do you have him as?
Hey man, he's been snatching chains, living up to his name since he got here, bro. Mentality is 100%. We knew that before he was even drafted. We heard his pre-draft interviews talking about how he was trained. His dad taught him, you get that ball in your hand, you got one goal is to get to the end zone every time, and he plays with that tenacity all the time. So he also gets my third. I probably gave up more than anybody else, but he's going to get my third Tibetan Mastiff here. That's a big dog right there. Whether he's a wide receiver one or not, again, that stuff doesn't matter. I'm not doing this based off of production. I'm doing this off of mindset and physicality. And he is the type of guy that you want going out there fighting with you in the trenches day in and day out.
Yeah, what do you got, Tony? I agree, Mike.
Hands down, he's the Mastiff. Hands down.
This is a clean, massive sweep, man.
Yeah, you don't even have to really say anything. He got the nickname Debo for a reason. Okay. He runs over players. He looks for contact. He's like, I'm coming at you, whether you like it or not. I'm trucking your ass. So guess what? Massive.
It's funny because we talk about alpha and things like that. I don't think Debo's an alpha, yo. I think the way he plays is alpha. Like, I don't think he's alpha. I don't think he has, at least not yet. Like, at least he hasn't developed that type of alpha mentality yet. But I think he plays like he's the baddest motherfucker on the joint. Like, if I think he would challenge an alpha any given day. Like, you know what I mean? And then after he beats the alpha, he'll be like, all right, man, you can go ahead and continue being alpha. I just whipped your ass. Like, that's Debo to me. All right, so Richard posted this comment, and he says, Debo is like one of those prize show dogs that you put out to stud. His flash and versatility makes him a great show dog and a breeder. Yo, I kind of like this post. This is why I posted that. Like, he is that type of show dog. He's the guy that you be like, yo, go bring me out that thing we haven't seen before. You know what I'm saying? That special breed that you got over there. And we're just going to show them off. And, you know, just to let cats know this is what you want to be like. Like, you know what I mean? I agree with you, Richard, on that comment. Mike?
Yeah, man. You know, I don't disagree with any of that stuff, man. I like it a lot, man. He's a special young man, and I'm looking forward to seeing year 2 with him. So he's a good dude, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go ahead and play that dog sound. And we got the. Notice how there's like 3 or 4 dogs barking at the same time, too, because that's what Debo is. He represents the whole damn race of Tibetan Mastiffs, like the whole joint. All right, man. So I hope you guys like this show, man. We wanted to talk about the wide receivers. We wanted to rank them based on their dog mentality, because we were basing the show off of a couple of wide receivers that we had, you know, Hall of Famers, T.O., Jerry Rice, and we wanted to see, man, I wonder, like, if we had to rate Jerry Rice and T.O., where would we put these guys in this dog barking category? I got Jerry Rice as my pit bull, and I got T.O. as my master.
That's good. That sounds good.
I would put them both in pit bull categories. I think T.O. is just a meaner pit bull. That's all.
Okay.
I think T.O. is a meaner pit bull. That's all. Because T.O. he was very picky with when he chose to do contact and when he didn't. You know what I mean? So
he wasn't consistent.
Right. Okay. So that's why I say that. By the way, you asked about the lichen thing, and I know we're not doing this right now, right? But lichen, the wolf thing, right? There's dogs, and then there's the wolf, right? And then there's like your lone wolf. There's your wolf that doesn't need the pack. Like, I'll be all right on my own, right?
Whoa.
Like, I don't know if y'all in the Game of Thrones, but you saw the dire wolves out there, right?
Yes, sir.
To me, that's really what Jalen Hurd is. I don't even know if Jalen Hurd is friends with any of the wide receivers on this team. Like, this dude, Jalen Hurd.
The fact that you said that is why I think he didn't go to the Super Bowl. Yo. It had nothing to do with a back. It had to do with the fact that I'm not playing, and right now I'm good. Yo, that's scary. You muted, Mike.
No, I'm just saying, I agree with you. I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, you know, I'm not, you know, the pack is cool. Y'all all right, y'all great, but, you know, I'm here to get right, and when it's my time, it's my time, you know? People say that his doctors cleared him, the team doctors didn't clear him and all that. We're going to go back and forth, and we're never going to know for sure because no one's going to answer it on the mic, but he's a guy to watch out for, man. I'm telling y'all.
Absolutely.
Y'all know how excited about him. Oh my God. Just think about, like, I had 3 Tibetan Mastiffs on here. I had Trent Taylor's little ass as a pit bull. Like this team, they got something here, man. They've got something here. We got to put it all together. God forbid, if they get healthy, the NFL, and if we draft, okay, all right, I'm gonna shut up.
So with the type of dogs that we have, before we end the show, we got a couple of minutes because we started late. Before we end the show, do you guys feel, we have all these different types of dogs. We didn't have too many Chihuahuas. We had a couple, right? One cat, 2 cats, maybe. And do we really need to add another wide receiver, or should we let these dogs develop?
My theory. I definitely think you need to add another wide receiver, just purposely because you don't know what you have as far as health wise. Okay. There's a lot of question marks between 2 on paper key contributors expected going forward with Taylor and Hurd. Okay. We moved on from Emmanuel Sanders, so now there's another hole. So that's technically 3 spots that there's uncertainty, in my opinion. And listen, man, it's not a knock. It's not a knock against what we have. It's about adding the players to this roster to keep the championship run going, to keep getting to the Super Bowl, to give Jimmy more targets. Okay. Listen, straight up, if we end up with Ruggs, let's just say for shits and giggles, does Ruggs make that catch in the end zone?
Yeah, man, that's speed.
So these are all things like you just gotta. I mean, you gotta look at. You gotta open the horizon and just look at things. If you have an opportunity to upgrade at a position group, you do it. And you worry about, oh my God, we have an abundance. Okay, so guess what? If we have too many wide receivers, teams are going to start calling. Hey, what do you want for this one? What do you want for that one? Now that becomes equity. And now, what the hell was that? Equity, we get draft picks to keep restocking and replenishing this roster.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Remarks, Mike? I don't think we need to draft a dog at all. I'll be honest with you. There's plenty of dogs here. I do think we need another wide receiver. What I will say is it's time to find some complementary pieces. Right now, you look at the guys like Debo, you look at the guys like Sanders, you look at Taylor when he returns. We're crowding up the middle of the field a lot. I want some guys that attack different depths. You know what I mean? Different parts of the field. And that's what I'm looking forward to adding. I don't care about the toughness necessarily. We got plenty of toughness on the roster already. Now it's time to get some skill. It's time to get the diversity, the complementary wide receiver group that you were talking about at the very top of the show, Wayne. So I do think we definitely need another wide receiver, but it doesn't have to be a dog. Don't have to be a dog at all.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of the show, guys. The whole point of the show is looking forward, like moving forward, going into this draft. The wide receiver pool is super heavy, super talented, but it's talented in every facet. It's like going to a meat market and you can hand select the exact cut and piece of joint that you want because you know what you need. I love the speed of Ruggs. I love the fact you can use him in probably every different formation on this offense. But is that what we need? I also love the fact that, Jerry Jeudy can run every route in the route tree, right? Probably better than probably a lot of NFL players run in the route tree right now. Like, for me, that's my specialty, but that's me. I'm not the coach, right? Then you got Lamb. Lamb can attack on the outsides, guys. Mike said he wants receivers or a receiver that can complement go from the inside out to the outside. Give me somebody that can kick them motherfucking toes in on the inbounds so Jimmy ain't throwing interceptions through across the middle of the field. I'd rather him throw the ball to the side of the field to where only my receiver can have a chance of catching it than me throwing it to the middle field when it's overcrowded. So do we get a guy working outside like CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb can catch those passes, but there's so many in this draft that can fit this joint. Somebody asked earlier about Justin Jefferson. Shout out to George Padilla for this $1.99 contribution. We truly appreciate giving you this afternoon show, and everyone else, we thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to address that question real quick. Somebody asked about Justin Jefferson. Listen, man, I like the kid. I think the kid is super hella explosive. I also like if we trade back, that might be the guy. Like he may be the guy. I'm hoping we trade back, My pick at 13 is Jerry Jeudy all day. That junk ain't never going to change unless Jerry Jeudy get drafted before 13. But that's my pick. And if so, he does get drafted. I can see the 49ers trying to move on from the 13th pick to gain draft capital. There's some guys they could get in the second round. There's some guys they could get in the third round. Who knows? But if Justin Jefferson is there toward the end of that first round draft, will we still have that 31st pick? Or if we move back in the first round with a later first pick, like in the 20s, and he's there, I'm snatching him up before Green Bay takes him. I'm snatching him up before Minnesota takes him with their second pick because they lost Stephon Diggs. Like I would snatch him up. So I like Justin Jefferson, but my guy all day, every day is going to be that route guy. I don't care about his toughness. I don't care about. I tell you what. Before he get hit, he'll make a person miss. I tell you that. I know that's what he do. He's quick. So that's my guy. I know guys love Lamb. Let's close out this show, guys. Thank y'all so much, man. And let's keep it moving. We'll talk to you on the next one.
All right. That's it, man. Fun show, man. I had a lot of fun. Ready to go home, guys? We good?
I'm ready.
Final thoughts? I don't know enough about Justin Jefferson to speak on it. It'd be ill of me to do that. So that's why I didn't touch on it. So I don't know if Tony had any insights on him.
Yeah, I like him. I like Justin Jefferson. I listen, you guys know time in and time out, I'm a big SEC guy when it comes to at the college level, transitioning to the NFL. The only real downside, I mean, if there is any with Jefferson, the only real downside is he played primarily out of the slot.
Mm-hmm.
It does not mean he can't transition outside, but the majority of his plays are working the middle from the slot. Now, if they feel that they could transition him and get him outside and rep him, I'll take that all day.
I'm sorry, yo. Somebody asked me to play the kitten while you were talking about a player, yo. I hope you're not talking about the kitten was for Justin Jefferson, though. I don't see him as a cat. I don't see him having that mentality.
I think taking Jefferson to put him outside is a bit risky when he's primarily a slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not about him. That's just in general what I think. That's not about just him.
And it's
but
good
that could be straight scheme too. That could just be their scheme to put their best playmaker in the middle of the field.
I mean, I gotta watch some more stuff because I definitely want to break this down. And that, like, if you're saying Justin Jefferson, and I'm not trying to prolong the show, but if you're saying he's more of a slot guy on the inside, that's Trent Taylor. That's all those guys that we have already, which means he won't fit. And I don't think. If we didn't have a Trent Taylor and we needed a slot guy, that's even Debo. Debo's a slot guy. Like I don't think we need that. I really think we need a guy that can run and do a hitch or run and do a out, like all those types of plays that we just have not seen yet. We have not seen. I'm telling you, yo. I'd rather see Jimmy throw some of those balls to the sidelines and give me a Mike Evans type catch or one of those catches where I just got to get my toes in and make the catch type catches, yo. You know, if that's Mike, if that's Pittman, if that's Higgins, if those are the guys that can give me some outside scheme to that offense, then we're good. Because we can run the ball up in the middle, we can run the ball to the outside. Oh wow! Then we could throw the ball across the middle. You still got George Kittle that can take the seam down the field. And look, we're winning. It will be winning. It will be winning all effing day. It will be teams and defenses trying to match up. Mike,
that's it, man. I'm ready.
Man. Let's anticipate. Let's go.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain,
but always remain faithful.
He got it right, dog. We out, y'all.